Hi, so my name is Lindsay Jones. I'm here with Monica Meehan today to talk to you about DropCap Marketplace. We are a rights marketplace specifically for independent authors and small publishers. So that's kind of the angle that we're coming from. There it goes. All right, so I like to just give a little bit of background about us for some context. I'm based in Minneapolis. Prior to DropCap, I'm the CEO and co-founder, by the way. But prior to DropCap, I worked for a self-publishing company in Minneapolis. So my background is in self-publishing. We were talking about that asteroid hitting the industry earlier, and that's kind of when I started my career, when ebooks were exploding and self-publishing was really becoming kind of a big thing. And Monica, if you want to go ahead and introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Monica, and I come from a more traditional background. Prior to DropCap, I worked most recently at Hay House for over 10 years, both in the UK and in New York, and previously in Canada, where I'm from. Shout out. So yeah, and this was my first experience for an agency, and obviously rights is rights, but it has a much different feel at an agency. And I don't think I would ever go back to in-house publishing as much as I loved it. So I'll expand a bit more on that afterwards. And I'm one of two rights agents, rights directors. Our colleague, Allison Olson, is one of DropCap's co-founders. And prior to DropCap, she had her own agency for 15 years, an agency called Letter Soup.
Yeah, and I really like to say that DropCap started life as a tech-enabled rights agency. So when we joined forces with Allison, it was really because she was finding that she couldn't scale any further with her clients, just her as a one-woman show. So when we started DropCap, it really was to automate all of those processes that I'm sure all of the agents here know can be very, very manual. So we built an end-to-end rights licensing platform that allows our rights buyers to see PDFs. They can sign contracts. They can kind of do all of those really boring things more quickly. So yeah, again, my background being in self-publishing, we knew that we wanted to create a pathway for independent authors to have access to these rights licensing opportunities. Allison was seeing a lot of really good success with self-published authors, but we wanted a way to kind of bring more people into the ecosystem. So that's why we created DropCap Marketplace. So who's using DropCap? On the selling side, we have independent authors, so they're publishing their book through Amazon or other hybrid or self-publishing companies. We have small publishers, and we even have agents that are listing their books on the marketplace as a way to expand their reach. And then on the buying side, we have international publishers, domestic and audio publishers, rights agents from around the world. We even have a handful of film and TV scouts that are browsing our content, though I will say our wheelhouse really is in translation rights.
Yeah, and I think previous to DropCap, both Allison and I discovered that all the co-agents and many of the publishers around the world are still partners that we work with now. So it's very much DropCap. The automation is a tool, and we're still really hands-on, meeting people. We go to all the major book fairs, and we have those relationships that we've built over decades. So that combination has really been ideal. Also, as a rights person to, quickly drop a contract and then look through, fine-tooth comb it. But everything that's on the back end has been just helpful to speed up the process and focus on what's at hand and selling a great book.
So how does this work for sellers? For our rights sellers, again, these are our authors and our publishers. They have an annual subscription. And the cost for that is based on the number of books that they're listing on the marketplace. We make it super easy for them to import their data. All they need is an ISBN, and we can pull all of the information about their books into our platform. We're then pitching their books to relevant buyers in our network. We use an algorithm to decide what's relevant. So I'll talk a little bit about that in a few minutes. And then the books are also obviously continuously available to be searched in our advanced search in the platform. When an inquiry is made, that's again, we're a little bit different. So they have the option to use us as their agent, but our platform is agnostic. So if they have their own agent, or if it's an agent who's listing their books on the marketplace to expand their reach using it as a marketing tool, they do not need to use us as their agent. And I think that's a really important thing for us, that everyone who's selling on our platform has that option. Some benefits for sellers. So the big one here for independent authors is that they're getting access to licensing opportunities without having to have agency representation. So when they come in, they're not committing to any sort of exclusive agreement to us. They're using this as a marketing tool. They're getting their books in front of rights buyers. Some of them find success, some of them obviously do not, but they're getting that access to the opportunity. And then, like I mentioned, it's being used as a tool to expand existing rights programs. So if you're a publisher who has an in-house rights person, you can still have your books on DropCap Marketplace because you don't need to use us as the agent. Anything you wanted to add?
Although we'd be happy to.
We'd be happy to, yes.
Yeah, and this might be a little segue, but this author, Amber Nicole, has been one of our success stories, making the jump from DropCap rights marketplace to our main platform. She's an independent author with an indie publisher attached to her, and she was selling independently, and we've now done deals both in English language in the UK at Headline, Hachette, and just recently with Kensington, two really great deals. So they started out as indie publishers, and now they've come also part of our ecosystem in a much bigger way. And we've sold about 15 language rights at least already for the series. So it's just a unique way that we were able to see people make the leap successfully.
Yeah, and as an independent author, she comes in and doesn't really have the background in how rights work, how to find an agent, anything like that. So we're stepping in when needed to help with that.
And I think that's where the non-automation comes into play, because she was a veterinary assistant and now she's writing full time, and she's very sweet and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm asking too many questions." But I think the very human touch has helped her a lot.
Yeah. So how does this work for our rights buyers? One of the things I really like about our platform is that rights buyers do not need to have an account to search our books. They can search, they can make inquiries. When they make an inquiry, it goes to us. It goes to Monica and Allison. It's not going into some sort of hopper of automation there. But if they do create an account, there's a lot of really cool features that I think are making things easier for the rights buyers to find books that fit their list. So they're getting a curated dashboard. We have an algorithm that we created that helps match books with the rights buyers that we think are going to be most relevant. So it's looking at their genre preferences, it's looking at their past buying habits and other data points about how these books are performing on our platform to help kind of give the rights buyer a curated experience when they log in.
And I think it's also helpful that they're not given a lot of superfluous information that they won't necessarily need. They're not being pitched children's books if they're only an adult fiction buyer, for example. And if a book has sold in their territory, there'll be a little marking that says sold. So they don't have to come to us and say, is this book, they sometimes still do, but is this book available? So for both buyer and agent, it helps just field that sort of extra information that takes up so much time. And they can download watermark PDFs directly, which everybody has been thrilled with on both sides.
Yeah, so they, like I said, it's taking over a lot of that manual work in a more automated way. Another new feature we just launched is allowing them to see estimated sales data. Again, this is only if they're logged in. We vet all of the rights buyers that are coming in, so they're people that either Monica or Allison personally know, or we're getting references to make sure that they're trade professionals before they have access to this information. But we're now able to provide a range of what the lifetime sales of the books are, which is, I mean, I think that's huge for a lot of rights buyers. That's like one of their number one questions is how well is this book performing in the US?
We're also very transparent. Everything happens on the platform in real time. So as soon as we make a contract, it will say that the book is sold in that territory and where and with which co-agent, if that's applicable. So everybody can see what's happening and generate interest and excitement that way.
Yeah, and we covered some of this already, but I'll just mention our advanced search, I think, is really robust for our rights buyers. It's helping them find niche topics. Like if they see something is trending in their particular market, they can go on, they can search, and they can find books because we have a fairly large catalog of books that are maybe in a particular like mind, body, spirit topic or, what have you, that it's hard to find when you are looking for a specific thing. Then, like I said, our algorithm is ensuring that quality content is rising to the top. So it's not just matching books based on the genre. We know that with self-published authors, quality can be a concern. We want to make sure that the books that that our rights buyers are seeing on the platform are edited and high quality, and we're using some automation on the back end to make sure that's the case. And then I think best of all, no waiting. Rights buyers have everything they need right there to make the decisions.
Yeah, and then us to help facilitate any questions they might have directly, and that's where the human contact comes in again.
Yeah. So on fees, yeah, like I mentioned, there's an annual subscription for the sellers. And then DropCap only earns commission. I think this is really important. We're only earning commission if we are the agent who's working on the license. So if, for example, you're a publisher and you have a rights department, and you use our platform, you can take those inquiries, you can take those leads, and you can run your own process with that. We're not getting any cut of that sale if we're not the one facilitating it. And then for rights buyers, there's no cost. We don't want any barriers for them to be looking at our books. Oops, I went too far. There we go. So what makes DropCap unique? I think as we've kind of harped on, I think the fact that we're supported by a traditional agency, so we can step in and provide help and support when needed, but we're not exclusive. I think that really makes us different from, some of the options that publishers may have.
Yeah, it makes buyers, I think, foreign publishers feel safe that they're people that they can rely on, but also explore what's available to them on the platform.
Yeah, and the fact that we're focused on independent authors, like our mission really is to be able to give access to authors who are creating great books, but maybe don't have the same opportunities in the industry because they don't have the backing of a known publisher. There's really no pathway for them right now to access rights licensing in any meaningful way unless they were to go get an agent. So we're trying to make that pathway.
And I think the quality of independently published books is so high. I mean, it's changed so much over the years.
Yeah.
So as all of you know, in-house agents and editors are looking for what's available independently as well. So we're kind of, I don't know, making our mark on that side.
Yeah, so if there's any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. Yeah. Okay.
Slow that hand go first. Slowly, I turned. Thank you. Hi, my question is regarding a lot of self-published books are included in Kindle Unlimited. And so how do you account those figures in the number of units sold and then estimated lifetime sales?
Yeah, so we include Kindle Unlimited downloads. We count that as a sale because we think that it's showing the readership of the book, and that's really what the rights buyer is wanting to know, is like how many people domestically here have read this book, or what is the audience. So yeah, we count those as sales.
Thank you.
There was another hand, right? Just a quick question on your pricing. So if you have a number of books and we use your platform, and if you want to have a couple of books represented by you, can you parse it just at the title level?
Yes, yeah, we can. So, so the question was, if you list books on the marketplace, can DropCap represent just some of them, right? And yes, we can do that.
Great. One of the things I didn't say before about these great rights discovery platforms is that there's a lot of frustration from buyers. And we maybe don't know that because we know the buyers we know that we talk to, and they're not frustrated because they know us and they can come and ask us and get what they're looking for. But we don't know everybody. Sometimes we think we do. And an opportunity like this, where a buyer can come in and see a wide range of titles and have a chance. Let's say I'm a Thai publisher and I don't go to Frankfurt every year and I don't know everything that some other Thai publishers might know. It levels the playing field a little for the buyers and is important to us as licensors as well, right? The first two publishers, the only two publishers in Thailand said no thank you. That doesn't mean it's a done deal that this book could never work in Thailand, right? So you want to hear from somebody else. So this is a way for those buyers to come in and find things. And I think that's really important across all these platforms, I'll say.
And I think also as agents, on our platform, we can see the back end, we can see everybody who's clicked on a title. And then we can approach them and say, oh, we see that you're new to the platform, and make an introduction. And as we know, one intro leads to another, and it's a great networking tool for us as well as the potential buyer.
Fantastic. Any other questions out there? Yes.
Just a quick one. The sales data that you're surfacing, is that book scan data or?
No, it's actually coming straight from Amazon.
Oh, cool. Thanks.
Type of author, right? Yeah. Cool. Thank you. Thank you
Yeah,
very
thank you.
much.
So much.